I was doing some research on Islamic fundamentals and Muslim religious law, where I came across some press releases on some terrorist activities and bombings. And on doing some more reading, I found, and to my surprise, the incredible numbers of terrorist attacks and suicide bombings of innocent civilians around the world. And for lack of a better word, the numbers are definitely staggering. If you're a person who believes that Muslim fundamentals in Islamic law is a peaceful one, think again. I prepared a list of terrorist attacks across this globe that will definitely change your mind. And it opened my eyes as well. Let's get started. April 18th, 1983, Beirut, Lebanon. The U.S. Embassy bombing that killed 63 and injuring 18 Americans, killing 18 Americans and injuring dozens more. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. December 21st, 1988, the bombing of the Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing 270. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. March 17th, 2009, Argentina, the Israeli embassy bombing, killing 29 and injuring 250. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. February 26, 1993, the first World Trade Center bombing. Anybody remember this? The first World Trade Center bombing killed 6 and injured hundreds more. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. July 17, 1994, Argentina, the Jewish Institute bombing that killed 87 and injured 250 more. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. June 14th through the 19th, Bazyanovsk, Russia. A man by the name of Shemel Basayev led up to 150 Chechen separatist rebels into Bazyanovsk, kidnapping up to 1,800 people. 150 of them were children at the Bazyanovsk hospital. By the end of the siege, 140 were killed and over 400 were injured. And what was this band of pathetic thugs? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. June 25th, 1992, Khobar, Saudi Arabia. The bombing of the Khobar Towers, killing 20 and injuring 372. And who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. Do we see a pattern here? I'm sure you're an intelligent person. I'm sure you do. August 7th, 1998, the simultaneous bombings of the U.S. embassies in Nairobi, Kenya, Dar es Salaam, I think I got that right, and Tanzania, killing 224 and injuring over 4,000. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. September 8th, 1999, Russia, where a series of apartment bombings in and around Moscow killed 300 and injured hundreds more. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. October 12th, 2000, the bombing of the USS Cole, killing 17 and injuring 39 seamen. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. October 29th, 2002, New Delhi, India. A car bomb that killed 60 shoppers and injuring dozens more. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. August 5th, 2003, Jakarta, Indonesia. The Marriott Hotel bombing, killing 12 and injuring 150 people. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. Am I piling on? I don't think I'm done yet. March 11th, 2004, Madrid, Spain. A series of bombings killing 191 and injuring 600. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. September 1st, 2004, Beslan, Russia, where over 1,200 hostages were taken at a school rally for the first day of school. And after the 3-day siege, 338 were killed and over 700 were injured. The school. And who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. August 24th, 2004, Moscow, Russia. The bombings of Flight 1330 and Flight 1047, killing 89. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. October 1st, 2005, Bali, Indonesia, where 2 suicide bombs killed 20 and injuring 129. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. July 11, 2006, Mumbai, India. The train bombings in a series of 11 explosions that killed 209 people and injured over 700. And who was responsible for this? Care to take a guess? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. July 7th, 2008, Kabul, Afghanistan. The Indian embassy bombing that killed 58 and injuring 141. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. September 20th, 2008. Islamabad, Pakistan. The Marriott Hotel bombing that killed 60 and injured 250. Who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. July 7th, 2005, the London subway bombing that killed 52 and injured 700 more. And this is the worst attack on the UK since World War II. And who was responsible for this? I think we all know now. Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. This brings us to September 11, 2001, World Trade Center, where terrorists flew 2 planes into the Twin Towers, killing 2,974 people and injuring tens of thousands more. And this is the worst attack on the U.S. since Pearl Harbor. And can you guess who was responsible for this? Muslim fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50. This brings us to the last one. Although it's only a casualty of one, I think it's a perfect cross-section of what is going on in the lunatic fringe's mind, these Islamic radicalists. When they're willing and perfectly capable to kill their own indiscriminately and most heinously, is just, like I said, it's a perfect cross-section of what is going on with these people. February 12th, 2009, New York. Mushami Hassan beheaded his wife, Asaya, leaving her body on the floor with her head beside her body at the TV station they founded in 2004. The TV station broadcasted Islamic religious beliefs and culture to thousands of New Yorkers. It was to paint Islamic values in a kind and peaceful light. Can you guess what Masami is? A Muslim fundamental extremist between the age of 15 and 50. Yes, when it comes to Muslim values in Islamic or Sharia law, the whole world needs to wake up and take a good look at what is going on here. The list of terrorist attacks is an endless one and is filled with the kidnappings, torture, fear, and with the indiscriminate slaughter of the innocent and non-combatants of men, women, and children. In our schools, our homes, marketplaces, pubs, airlines, airports, places of business, and also places of worship like churches and mosques. Recent events in Egypt, India, Iraq, Israel, Spain, and the UK clearly indicate that the bombing of targets and civilian populations are in an ever-present danger worldwide. The Department of Terrorism reported 7,000 terrorist bombings worldwide between 1968 and 1999. From 2001 through 2009, more than 500 international terrorist bombings caused more than 4,600 deaths. And this is excluding 9/11. Yes, Muslim fundamental extremes is a scary thing, and we need to keep a close eye on it. It needs to be pointed out for what it is, too. For in the Quran, if you're a non-believer or an infidel, and a non-believer in the teachings of Allah, you must die. So if you're part of the lunatic fringe, the Islamic fundamental extremists between the ages of 15 and 50, the bad finger to you. Have a great day.